Hey, welcome to That Shit Was Poetic, where we touch on all things poetic, like music, poetry, art, movies, quotes, and famous poets. I'm your host, Nikki. So I'm back on another Friday. I hope you all had a good week. I had an excellent week, and I'm so excited to be back on another Friday, being able to talk with my listeners about the normal things that we normally talk about, like poetry, music, art and entertainment, all that good jazz. But I have some exciting news that I would like to share with my listeners today. So look forward to that. And the good thing about this Friday, I know you get to catch this vibe with your girl. So stay tuned. So, everyone, I really have some great news. I really wanted to share with you all. I work with a Napa Valley winery, and we do wine tastings. We sell wine, and I'll be doing some virtual wine tasting as well as some virtual wine reviews online pretty soon. So stay tuned and look out for that. And the good thing about the company I work with, it's called One Hope. And the good thing about them is they give back to different charities. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to join this company. I also always wanted to have my own wine brand, but it was a lot of work that went into it. And I found this company, and I really, once I started diving deep into it, I realized like it's a really good company. They give back to different charities, different nonprofit charities. um, they have their own charities. Each bottle, a percentage goes to that charity. Every bottle that's sold, it goes to that charity. But you also can choose your charity of choice, through hostings and different party events, networking events, charity events, fun gatherings, happy hour, brunch. I know I love brunch. I love a good brunch. Um, but yeah, they, through those events, they give a percentage back to whatever nonprofit charity of your choice. And that's the reason why I really like this company. Also, like I said, I'll be doing some online virtual events and, charity events. So look out for that. Stay tuned for that. So if you have an event that you would like to host, and it could be any type of event. Like I said, we do networking events, wine tastings, hangouts, whatever you can think of, paint and sip nights. Um, I'm your girl who will provide the wine experience. So if you need someone, just contact me. We're going to take a very short break, but we'll be right back. So stay tuned. Let me tell you why I love Anchor. Like, seriously, everybody knows, that who listens to my podcast, that I'm a newbie. And I haven't had my podcast that long. But the reason why I love Anchor is because one, it's so easy. It's free, and everybody loves free. There's creation tools that you can record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. I'm always on my phone. Even if I'm on the go, I can record my podcast. I can edit my podcast. They distribute to all the streaming services, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. Like, they do all of that for you within the app. You can make money from your podcast, no minimum listenership. Everything you need to know to make a podcast is in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. It's so easy. Like, if I can do it, anyone can do it. If you're passionate about something, make a podcast. It's so easy. And you can talk all day about whatever it is that you're passionate about. So go ahead and go to anchor.fm to get started. So let's get into it. So Did you guys see the new Netflix film, Fatal Affair, starring Nia Long and Omar Epps on Netflix? It's about a lawyer who catches up with an old friend and it escalates into a crazy obsession. I've never had a crazy obsession. I've never had anyone crazy obsessed over me, but it looks entertaining. It looks like, it could be good. Plus, I love Neil Long and I like Omar Epps. Like those are some really good actors. And they had good chemistry in the past, so hopefully, this new film will be everything that I hope it will be. I like supporting Black films. So I know I'll be watching. I haven't watched it yet. I know it came out, I believe, on the 16th. That'll be one of my movies that I'll probably watch this weekend. So I'm looking forward to that. Let me know what you guys think about the movie. You can leave me a voice comment or you can inbox me, DM me. Let me know what you think. Now I know you guys probably heard about the monument of the English slave trader Mark Quinn. His statue was replaced with one of the Black Lives Matter protesters, Jen Reed, in Bristol, but it has since been removed. I thought that was really interesting. Like, the Black Lives Matter movement is really taking off. And this past year, we've seen a lot of change. We have a lot more to come. But the Black Lives Matter movement is really putting their foot down and saying no more. And I am right along with them in agreement with, the things that they are fighting for. And I thought it was a good thing, as far as them taking that statue down because it's not a good representation, of the world today. Like it's not a good look and it never was a good look, to be honest. But I think, the actions that they took, the about putting another statue up there, they need more representation of positivity. And we need to start seeing more of those things happening, laws being changed, things like that. So I'm in support of it. But speaking of Black Lives Matter, Black women matter. And I'm really getting tired of having to express this and make it known. We were just talking about last week, last Friday, 50 Cent and his poor taste of words about Black women. And here we go again this week with a football player, Kyle Quero. I don't even know who this guy is, but he asked publicly on like, his social media, y'all really sexually aroused by Jill Scott? And I just hate the fact that, other women, other races of women, people don't really speak out and say those derogatory, sexually explicit things about them in the public. They may do it behind closed doors, but they're not doing this with other races. But they feel so freely about speaking negatively about Black women and Black men speaking negatively about Black women. Like, we are the least taken care of by our Black men. And I really hate having to continue to have this conversation. I'm sick of it. Like, I'm so tired of it. And I just think that it was so negative, even though that's his choice, that's his opinion, but why, especially what we're going through in 2020 with, all this going on, why put another Black woman down? Like, I think we just have to do better as individuals, as human beings, and as Black people, you know, white people, all races. We just have to do better. So I just wanted to express that. So, have you all seen the show Bigger by Will Packer? It's a comedy show on BET. It's a really cool show. I got into it earlier this month or towards the end of last month, and I kind of finished it off. But it's about a young woman in her 30s, a group of her friends, and it just It shows the ins and outs of their relationships, their lives, their friendships, and it just has them questioning, like, is there something bigger out there for us? It just shows the everyday life of friendships and relationships. And the crazy thing about it is, which had me to think about this question: would you settle for great sex, or would you settle for stability? I want it all. Give me great sex and stability. Another thing I noticed about the show is it was kind of explicit. You know, we got the chance to see Black men in their male parts. Normally in television shows, women are usually exploited. We usually see, the woman's breasts, you usually see a woman's behind. But in the show Bigger, they actually showed the male parts, which was a surprise for me. It wasn't a bad surprise because it was, bigger, but it was a surprise for me because you don't normally see male parts in movies. They usually show their backside sometimes, but I thought they really, did a good job of kind of like catching the audience attention with, the sexual scenes and things like that. So check that show out. But it really had me questioning, like, if you had a good person in your life and everything was amazing, but the sex was not amazing, and they wanted to commit to you and, build a future with you. Should you stay with them even though you're unhappy sexually, but provides a good life for you? Like, is there a compromise? Like, should you leave? Should you stay? I want to know what everyone else thinks, because I don't think I could commit to someone if I wasn't happy in my sexual life. Like, that's a big deal, and that's someone you want to spend the rest of your life with, and you just have to think like you'll have bad sex for the remainder of your life, and it'll start eating at you. It'll cause problems in your relationship. You're angry, you're frustrated. I also watched this movie yesterday called Addicted. I don't know if the listeners have seen that movie, but it's about this lady who, she has the perfect life. She has the great husband, good looking husband, great job, two kids, beautiful home, but she is addicted to sex. And, her husband is not pleasing her in the way that she would like. So, she just starts doing these crazy things. And that's how I feel about, the television show Bigger, is because if you're not happy sexually, it can lead to a bad relationship. It can start causing fights, unnecessary fights, frustration, all those types of things. Would you settle? I definitely would not settle. I know that it may be, you know, enticing to have the good life and, being taken care of, having a husband, catering to you, but at the same time, like, you're gonna be unhappy in all other areas. I wouldn't settle. I want it all. Let me know what you guys think. The show did get picked up for a second season, which I'm really looking forward to that. So if you guys have not seen the television show Bigger on BET, go check that out. It's a really great show. Black cast. So thanks for tuning in to That Shit Was Poetic. I'm your host, Nikki, and tune in every Friday for new episodes. To check out our old episodes, follow That Shit Was Poetic on all streaming services, Spotify or Google Play, or follow us on the Anchor app to leave a comment. To be featured in our podcast, email or DM us on thatshitwaspoetic@gmail.com, or follow us on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in.
See all this.